Look, man, we got to talk about this. All right, what's up, guys? My name is JacQ, and today we got to talk about this stuff, man. You guys got to quit doing this. And honestly, these are the things that take your content from being to this level to this level. And overall, these are definitely just like blanket statements, but I feel like I've seen them so many times and they're so repetitive, especially for new content creators, that it needs to be said. But before we hop into the actual content of this video, if you find it helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I cover a lot of content on this channel that's focused on helping you guys make content the way that you want to make it. And one of the things that are most common that I see that typically bring down the quality of a video is not being concise with the actual content in the video. And what I mean by that is clips that are lasting either far too long or clips that just don't add enough quality to the actual value of the content. And for example, in my videos, I typically mess up a lot when I record these things, so I like to do bloopers a bit. I'll either zoom in or I'll do some editing or something like that. But after I'm messing up, there's typically like a couple seconds where I try to like recollect myself and make sure I don't mess up. So I'm not sitting here all day recording this video, but I don't show you guys that. I see that very, very commonly, and it's actually ridiculous. So where they'll have a clip, and let's say that maybe there's suspense building up to it. The suspense is fine. Then the actual thing that matters happens in said clip, and then it just keeps going. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like those really long, drawn-out conversations that you want to end, but just aren't ending. To me, this overall just brings down the quality of your content so bad. Like, it's actually ridiculous. You can actually ruin the quality of a clip by just extending it a few seconds too longer than it's supposed to be, which then completely messes with the flow of the video and throws your whole audience off. And I said a few seconds, but this isn't and I said a couple seconds, but this is honestly an easy fix to do. Just whenever you're watching through your video and editing, ask yourself, is this important? Does this somehow add value to my content? Is it building suspense? Is it explaining what's about to go on? Is it information that's necessary to this content for people that are watching it to understand what's actually going on? But you kind of just having dead time and not talking about anything and nothing's happening, dude, get rid of it. I try not to make it too obvious in these videos, but obviously I definitely cut between clips because my continuous thought is not a continuous thought. It's like spurts and things of that, oh, I need to talk about this, and then I need to talk about this. And it's not always easy for me to connect these dots, but instead of having hang time in between these clips, I cut them up where you don't feel like you're getting rushed into the next clip, but fast enough so you're not getting bored between the bits of information that I'm giving you. And one last tip pertaining to this, and I find this a lot with funny videos, because that's a lot of what I used to make before I started making these videos. It's much better to end a clip a hair early than to drag it out and ruin the whole thing. Now, for the most important part of everybody's video, the hook. And I've covered this in videos before, but the first 15 seconds of your video is by far the most important out of the entire thing. Now, in those first 15 seconds, you don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to be extraordinary and just like outlandish and ridiculous. You just have to be able to get somebody's attention. Whether it means in entertaining videos that you're either putting your most crazy part or your most funny part at the very beginning, that's fine. If it's educational content, maybe show people an example of what you're doing. That's what I like to do in my videos. I typically try to have like an example of what effect I'm going to be doing or something along those lines. You really just need something that kind of hints at what you're going to cover in this video without completely giving it away. And a great way to think about this is imagine if you're a hunter, right? You're out in the woods and you're not a hunter, you're a fisherman, you're out on a lake. Past your rod, you've got your bait, you've got your hook, and you're waiting for a fish. Now, what happens when that fish, it sees your hook, it sees that bait, that's the thumbnail. You want that fish or that person to bite on your thumbnail, and then when that 15 seconds, when you've got your hook going on, you want to hook them and pull them in. But what happens if your hook is bad? You don't get the fish, you don't get the person watching your video, and then they click off. I don't even know if that analogy is like good. I'm just kind of hoping it is, because I can't think of another one. But basically, you want that fish or that person that's looking at your thumbnail, once they're enticed by that thumbnail, they get onto your video and they don't want to leave. They're so intrigued in your video that they have to sit here and watch. If you can master that, dude, audience retention through the roof. You'll have people watching your video longer, which will typically lead to more likes and more comments, which will make your video do even better. And then you're happy because you have a nice video. So like I said, during those first 15 seconds, you don't have to be crazy. You don't have to do something insane that nobody's ever seen before. Just get someone's attention and make them want to watch your video. Intrigue them in some way, make them want to stay. That's what you got to do. And this one's a bit more of a nitpicky one, but don't let your music contradict your content. And the reason I say that is because music is almost like food. When you're eating food, you don't take ice cream and put hot sauce on it. And yes, there may be some combinations that are different, like chicken and waffles or something that are good. That's fine, but you have to make sure that your music fits your content. Like whenever I'm making my videos, I typically use like lo-fi or something like that, because my videos aren't like super exciting and like want to get in your face and like get you hyped up or anything like that. It's a tutorial, or it's talking about these things that are important. It's something in the background that accents my content but doesn't take it over. For example, if I'm sitting here explaining to you guys some information, I'm not gonna sit here and blare heavy metal. But like I said, my content just doesn't fit with heavy metal music. Now, it may be the music that you like, because honestly, I am a fan of heavy metal music. But I don't sit here and blare my videos, because to me, it just, I don't like to put hot sauce on my ice cream. Or let's say if you're making a video, right, and most of your like video is like that hot sauce music, it's that heavy metal, it's something that you want to spice up your content, you have really going and flowing. But let's say you get to a point in your video where it's kind of like it slows down a bit, you're going to be able to tell that that heavy metal is not in the right spot. So whenever you're watching your content, take a second, realize and think, what is the flavor of this video? What is the music that's supposed to be going on in the background and that really accents my content and doesn't take it over? And the next thing I kind of have to complain about is volume. This is something closely related to the music we just covered, but don't let your music take over your content. Now, there are times in videos where music is played way too loud, and that's not what it's supposed to be. I seriously doubt your video is a music video. If it is, then fine, that's what it's supposed to be. Your music is your content. But if it's not, don't blast your music unless it adds value to your clip, which is very few circumstances, but there are some. For example, let's say if I'm being sneaky and I'm trying to be a spy, you can hear my spy music, it's turned up. That's a reason, but like I said, those reasons are very far and few between. But this also has a flip side. Do not let the volume of your video be too low. I don't know how many videos I made without my friends telling me that my videos were quiet. I did not understand it, but they were. Even now, at the end of all my videos, at the very end, I go to the audio section in Adobe Premiere, I turn the master volume up by 6 decibels because the volume that I like to edit it in is a lot quieter than the volume that sounds good on YouTube. But personally, I'd rather have my video a bit louder than quieter, if that makes sense. Now, I don't mean your music, I don't mean blare your music over your actual content, but if you have to turn down the overall volume of your video in your editor before you put it on YouTube, I'd much rather do that than have my video too quiet to where people can't hear it, period. So, bottom line, if you have music in your videos, turn it up to add quality to your content, but not loud enough for the music to be your content. All right, so the last one, but which is probably the most important out of all of them, be unique. I see far too often that people are producing the exact same content, somebody right next to them. You have to add individuality to your content. There's a reason you don't go to Burger King to get a Big Mac. It's because McDonald's is known for a Big Mac and Burger King isn't. But do you still go to Burger King to get a burger? I mean, that's a personal opinion, but for the metaphor, Burger King sells burgers, McDonald's sells burgers, Sonic sells burgers, and In-N-Out sells burgers. Everybody sells burgers, but not all their burgers are the same. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, just spice up that wheel so people want to watch yours instead of somebody else's. Just think about it. There's a reason that there's a bunch of different burger places. There's a reason there's a bunch of different pizza places. It's because they may have the same food, but they do it in a different way. They add something to that food or that content that makes people want to come to them, especially for that. That's what you have to do with your content. Make it to where people come to you for your content. And this doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be as simple as putting your personality into a video, or adding a certain type of editing style, or just the specific way that you cover topics. Is any advantage you can have to be different than the other guy? It's what you need. And for example, in my videos, I typically try to add like me messing up because I'm not perfect. So instead of hiding those imperfections, I turn them into a clip and try to make them funny. So whenever you guys are thinking you're coming here to get a tutorial video, you're getting your tutorial, but then you're also getting something funny happening randomly that you don't expect. In other words, I try to add value to my content beyond the things that I'm trying to teach you. Not only do I want to make these videos helpful for you guys to watch and elevate your own brand, I also want to make them funny and entertaining to where you're not sitting here for 20 minutes going, is he almost to the end of the video yet? I really need this information to be better, but I just don't want to watch it. So in short, find some way to make your video different and stand out from everybody else's. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, just make it different from somebody else's. But that's it for this video. So if you found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I cover a lot of content on this channel that's focused on helping you guys make content the way that you want to make it. Also, let me know down in the comments below if there's something else in this video you think I should have covered, or maybe if you want a part 2, I can make another one of these too. And until next time, peace. Do I cover volume or do I cover sub for sub? Volume is definitely more of a video thing, but sub for sub is just, it's so stupid.